I work 19 hours a week and I get paid $7.25 an hour. I need help. If I can't do it for the kids, if they need something, if I can't do it, I ask Mr. Little.
I asked her if she knew my husband. I called him by name. She said she did. She introduced herself as his girlfriend. I said...
Today we've got a couple standing by for their DNA results, and let's just say tensions are high. Mr. Little says he's tired of playing Who's the Daddy, especially when Ms. Clifton has allegedly handed over that job to another man. According to him, he's not giving her another dime for the twins' support after finding out she has been collecting money from another man. But will the DNA results back him up or leave him eating his words?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. We end up, getting together, whatever the case may have been, and, time went on. So, Ms. Clifton.
Ms. Clifton got caught up in this man's looks and company. He went from fixing her car to sharing her bed, a pretty smooth upgrade for any relationship. But along with the good looks came a little baggage and a few subtle lies. And when you spend that much time with someone, it's easy to let your guard down. Yep, this is starting to get interesting.
He was a good man. He was about his business. I was like, this husband material. I feel like I had hit jackpot when I met him.
Why did it end?
Well,
He
Your
lied.
Honor,
He lied and led on. He let me that he was single and that he was all for me.
Turns out, Mr. Good Looking is also Mr. Smooth Player. The whole time he was with Ms. Clifton, he was married. That bombshell sent a ripple through the courtroom. Meanwhile, Ms. Clifton's body language was saying, "Gotcha, you're not slipping away this time." And to think, it all came out from what she says was just an innocent little question over Thanksgiving dinner. Who knew small talk could blow up such a big secret?
Came by my job, then immediately she propositioned me for sex. Okay.
Wait a minute. What happened now, Miss Clifton?
He had been working on my car. We separated for about 2 years. I had started dating someone else.
This one's both hilarious and head-scratching. What kind of relationship did these two even have? After splitting for 2 years, thanks to that big secret, Ms. Clifton somehow ends up back in his shop. At first, it was just for the same reason they met in the first place, car repairs. But now, with her money tight, this gentleman decides he'd rather get paid in kind. Sex for car repairs? Yeah, the courtroom is buzzing with chaos right now.
It's my turn. I asked him on the Thursday. He didn't come till Sunday to bring. He didn't come till Sunday to bring the kids' items. I texted him on Thursday. Said the kids need milk and diapers.
I brought them that night.
No,
at
he
12
lied.
o'clock.
He came on Sunday. He brought a little.
This kind of situation is pretty much a recipe for chaos. It's only natural. When a parent starts doubting if the kids are really theirs, the love and effort can fade fast. Mr. Little shows that's exactly what happened with him. Sure, he still tried to take care of the children, but Ms. Clifton was never satisfied with what he was doing. She always wanted more.
I see the twins. So I set Pampers in the milk down and I go to play with the twins. I'm playing with the twins. I see some random guy walk out of the back, walk past me, and goes out the door.
Yep.
She never even acknowledged her.
Even with a packed schedule and kids to care for, Ms. Clifton somehow finds time to entertain other men at her place. One day, while asking Mr. Little to bring supplies for the kids, she was busy enjoying the company of one of them until Mr. Little walked in and caught her. Moments like that only fuel the doubts about whether these kids are really his. But all this back and forth is about to end. The DNA results will settle it once and for all.
You reached out on Facebook in desperation, or did you lead this man on and kind of flirt and say hello, like remember me?
No, in desperation, because me and the man knew each other from back in the day. Like I said, the man handicapped.
Things just keep getting messier. Reaching out to a man on Facebook because you're desperate for money? Not exactly the smartest move. Saying you were good friends back in the day and never slept together doesn't really make it any better. At this point, the paternity of these kids is hanging under a big question mark. Hopefully, when the results come in, both sides will be ready to accept whatever the truth says.
He insists, as I had my children.
What is that you're holding up there?
These are the birth certificates.
Jerome,
I
let me see
incurred
those.
3 infections at the hospital having his kids. I almost lost my life. I had to be in the hospital for a week.
Ms. Clifton showed up to court with backup, her mother, and mom's not about to let her daughter be passed around like a ball. No, she would not allow it. She insists she raised her right and knows she'll always do the right thing. But is that really the case? Judge Lake cut to the chase, asking if there's any other possible father. The answer? A big fat no. And now, the results are in. The truth is just seconds away.
As it pertains to 6-month-old twins, King and Kalani Little, Mr. R. Not.
Ms. Jackson, you say you're here to confront your husband's mistress and to prove her 1-month-old daughter, Kiesha, is not his biological daughter. Furthermore, you say if you learn today that the child is in fact your husband's, your marriage is over.
This case has been screaming chaos from the very start. Ms. Jackson is here to prove that her husband is not the father of Ms. Lipscomb's daughter, and it's not just paternity on the line. Their whole marriage is hanging in the balance. For this man to save his marriage, that child cannot be his, and Ms. Jackson needs to be right. Stick around, this drama is just getting started.
Did she come up there or why didn't she come up there?
That's my husband.
I've never seen her a day in my life. I knew her voice. I was sitting up.
How did you know her voice?
Because when I'm around Mr. Jackson and she calls and the kids calls, that's how I know her voice.
What does Ms. Lipscomb even mean by, why would his wife come visit him at work? They're married. She can visit whenever she wants. And then to start an affair with a man based purely on assumptions, without even asking basic questions? Come on. At this point, we definitely need to hear from Mr. Jackson. Why was he staying in a hotel in the first place? Yep, plenty of questions still waiting for answers.
And that's what trifling females do.
At that point, I feel like if this is your husband and this is so you say y'all working on your family, you trying to get it together, why is your husband in the room and not at home with you and your kid?
When I met her in the car that night,
So, Ms. Jackson kicked him out of the house, but why? We might never know the full story, and that's not all. She also sent him to jail. Was he a criminal on the run? Is this case matching up with his reputation? Meanwhile, Ms. Lipscomb seems to have convinced herself to ignore the fact he could be married, even though the man had his wedding band right there on his finger. How could she not suspect something?
She didn't, because I never mentioned it to her, Your Honor.
So that part of her statement is true. You never told her you were married.
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Jackson, you are the perpetrator of this mess.
Mr. Jackson takes the stand and says he never lied to Ms. Lipscomb about being married. He just never told her he was married. Well, Mr. Jackson, Judge Lake was quick to point out, that's still hiding the truth. But to him, there's nothing wrong with it. The problem? The nothing wrong just blew up right in his face. And right now, there are two women digging each other because of him.
and we had conversations. Before I didn't deny the child, I went and bought over $900 and some worth of stuff for her baby, Your Honor.
It wasn't $900.
And you did that because...
Your Honor, there's...
Ms. Jackson has actually been surprisingly kind to Ms. Lipscomb and her child, considering all the drama around this baby. But Ms. Lipscomb doesn't seem to appreciate it, so much so that she even lied about not continuing her affair with Mr. Jackson. That's not fair, and it's definitely not smart. It's straight up deception, and judging by the look on her face right now, she's not exactly feeling proud of herself either.
Yes.
And Mr. Jackson, did you sign the birth certificate?
Yes.
You did.
So if it's
Your
not
Honor.
his child,
Your
why would he sign the
Could I-
birth
could I
certificate? Even more to speak on
So,
her
Mr.
behalf.
Jackson, you've acknowledged paternity.
Ms. Lipscomb must have really convinced Mr. Jackson that he's the father of her child. After all, he was right there at the hospital signing the birth certificate. But if he wants to be the dad, then he should step up and provide for the child himself, instead of leaning on Ms. Jackson's resources. So far, Ms. Jackson hasn't exactly had a fair shake in all this. She's been more of the victim. Hopefully, what she's here for in court today actually comes to pass. Wait.
I'm pregnant now. I'm due May 5th. Mr. Jackson knows about it. I've invited him to doctor's appointment. He and I talked about it. He said to me, well, I don't care what nobody thinks because you my wife. And at the end of the day, that's just what it is.
Ms. Jackson is pregnant right now? Well, that's a twist. Meanwhile, Ms. Lipscomb is still in a relationship with this man, and now she knows he's married. Turns out, she doesn't really care. She's carrying on with her plans without a hint of remorse. This case is definitely one of a kind on this show. Hopefully, the DNA results will finally put all of this to rest.
Child support.
No.
But she's on your wife's military benefits.
Yes.
Now, you know that don't make no sense.
Now, I didn't even know how that happened, when it happened. She brought
I'll
that
tell you
to
how it
my-
happened.
Not so fast. Judge Lake still has a few clarifications, and what she's hearing isn't sitting right. Mr. Jackson admits he's the father of the child, yet he doesn't want to take responsibility for raising her. Instead, he's been pushing that burden onto Ms. Jackson's resources. It's starting to look like Mr. Jackson had this all planned from the start, and so far, it's been playing out in his favor. But here's the twist. Ms. Jackson isn't willing to keep carrying this load.
Jackson versus Lipscomb. Jack, when it comes to 1-month-old Keasia Jackson, Mr. Jackson, you are not the father. Be 100% positive that Mr. Martin is not your son's biological father because your ex-boyfriend, Mr. Richardson, is.
Yes, Your Honor.
You say today's DNA test will allow you to get rid of Mr. Martin?
The roller coaster keeps on rolling. Today, Ms. Bruton is here to crush Mr. Martin's hopes of being the father of her child. She says she believes her ex-boyfriend holds that title instead. But why? Could the ex really be the dad? Or is Mr. Martin the one? As always, only the DNA test will tell the truth. On the other hand, Mr. Martin believes he is the father of the child and he is in court to prove he is. In the end, will she be able to reconcile her relationship with Mr. Richardson?
Oh, it only takes one time anyway.
Yes,
It only takes
All
one
right.
time.
So you say this is your child, Mr. Martin?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you know that for certain?
Yes, Your Honor.
In the court papers, you say
Not these two basing their whole argument on the child's looks. Ms. Bruton says her baby has her ex's features, while Mr. Martin insists he's got those same features too. At this point, they clearly need a DNA test to settle it. She's convinced her ex is the father because she and Mr. Martin only had unprotected sex twice, but now she's starting to realize it only takes one time if it happens in that window of conception.
And we was having our ups and downs in our relationship. And so when I met Mr. Martin, I confided him as a friend, and then our friendship grew into a sexual relationship.
As usual on this show, the drama kicks off with someone cheating. She was with Mr. Richardson but still stepped out, claiming it was because they were having problems. Okay, fine, still not a good excuse, but if you're going to cheat, at least use protection to avoid situations like this. Now there's a baby from the affair and she wants to get back with her ex. Does it work that way? We'll see.
Be in a relationship with her.
but you were trying to get her pregnant.
Yes, Your Honor.
So you just gonna go out and just make a baby with anybody?
No, not with anybody, but
that's what you're saying.
I gotta get to know you though.
Okay, but you...
Mr. Martin just dropped a bomb on this whole situation. He admits he just wanted a baby, so he got her pregnant. He wants the child, but not a relationship with the mother. That's a huge problem, especially since he's only 19. The big question is, did Ms. Bruton know this and actually agree to it? That would be surprising because if that's the case, they pretty much walked right into this mess together.
You in there.
Yes, Your Honor.
You are a possible father of this child.
I don't know who he think he slept with more than twice, but it sure wasn't me. We only had sex twice.
So at the point that you...
She seriously believes that because they only had sex twice, there's no way he could have gotten her pregnant. That's hilarious. When the conception window lined up with the time she was intimate with both men, she ended up calling each one separately to break the news. But she still kept her outside affair a secret from Mr. Richardson. Her reason? She says it's because she loves him. But is that really love?
Mr. Richardson. I didn't even let Mr. Martin know when I had Logan.
You didn't?
No.
You didn't think he had a right to know that the baby was coming when it
No,
potentially
because-
could be his?
No.
Now Ms. Bruton is deciding paternity based on her own hopes and wishes, which is nowhere near logical. She kept Mr. Martin out of the loop simply because she didn't want him to father her son. Meanwhile, Mr. Richardson signed the birth certificate, thinking he was the real dad. At this point, Ms. Bruton is basically the director of this whole situation, handing out roles to both men. How nice, right?
It really tore me up, because I've been with her, throughout that pregnancy, been there, signed the birth certificate and everything, held him in my arms, doing what.
Mr. Richardson seems to have already built a bond with little Logan, from signing the birth certificate to spending real quality time together. He even says he sees his younger self in the boy, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's the biological father. On the other side, Mr. Martin is absolutely convinced the boy is his, and he's not backing down from that belief one bit. Well, the DNA result is heave tie ruined some light on this.
Now you're here and you're saying you're 100%
Yes, I'm 100%
positive.
positive.
That Mr.
Yes, you just want to mess up our family, Mr. Martin.
Judge Lake points out that there's a good chance Ms. Bruton actually knows who the real father is. She just doesn't want to face it. Because why tell Mr. Martin he's the dad one moment, then change the story later? Now she's upset that Mr. Martin refuses to back down from claiming this child. Well, sit tight. This storm of drama is about to pass, because the results are in, and the true father is about to be revealed.
Determined by this court. Mr. Richardson, you are not the father. So you are here to prove paternity of your 3-month-old son, Zayden.
Yes, Your Honor.
Shockingly, you confess it's either a man you shared a sexual relationship with who wants nothing to do with your child.
Just when it feels like the show might be losing steam, another case throws gasoline on the fire. Ms. Holthouse is here to prove that her mother's boyfriend, or another man she was having a sexual relationship with, is the father of her child. Yes, you heard that right, her mother's boyfriend. But he's firmly denying that he's the father. If you think that's messy, her mother is also in court today. How did it all get to this point? Stick around. We're about to find out.
I received wasn't supposed to come to me and a word was misspelled. It was a word. A few days later, she had on tight clothing, no little skirt.
With Mr. Shinwald taking center stage to explain how his relationship with his girlfriend's daughter began, he seems completely unaware of just how wildly inappropriate it is. He admits he was drawn in by her looks and body, which led to flirting, and eventually, her bed. Sleeping with your girlfriend's daughter is bad enough, but doing it without protection? Now that's a recipe for disaster. And sure enough, there's now a child involved.
Call from him, and he was talking about having sex and going somewhere. I snuck out of my grandma's house that night. We went to a park.
And what happened at the park?
From a simple abbreviated text to inviting each other to the park to ending up with a baby, what a way to start an inappropriate relationship. First of all, texting and flirting with your mother's boyfriend is completely unacceptable. And for the boyfriend to give in, that's just as wrong, if not worse. Then came the sneaking around, meeting behind her mother's back as if no one would ever find out. Well, those secret meetups aren't so secret anymore.
Kind of manipulated both of us, saying that I told her about what we did and I never said anything, and she said that he told her about what we did and he never said anything.
And who confessed?
This is betrayal at its peak. Ms. Holthouse's mother must have sensed something shady, which is why she used her own tactics to uncover the truth. Imagine the heartbreak she felt when Mr. Chenald finally confessed. The most disgusting part? He was still sleeping with her while also sleeping with her daughter. As Judge Lake put it, absolutely disgraceful.
Moment I did not know, but as my mom was pregnant with my sister, my sister is Mr. Chenald's daughter.
How old is her daughter?
She's about to turn 11 months.
How old is your child?
What on earth is going on in this courtroom? There's a real possibility that Mr. Chenald got both women pregnant around the same time. The audience is in shock, just like anyone hearing this would be. But here's the twist. Ms. Holthouse isn't entirely sure he's the father of her child, since she also had an affair with another man during the same period. The situation is beyond messy, devastating even.
Me and Miss Bogartis just have to figure something out.
And so how often do you get to see Zayden?
We actually all stay together.
You all stay together?
Yes, ma'am.
And you two are trying to work on and save your relationship.
And just when you think this case can't get any messier, boom! Another shocker drops right out of Mr. Chenald's mouth. He actually helped raise Ms. Holthouse. Yes, you heard that right. He's known her mother for about 20 years, and now he's tangled up in a situation where he might be the father of his stepdaughter's child. This is not the kind of story anyone wants in their ears, and honestly, it's a lot for Judge Lakes to even process.
Say you're not sleeping together anymore and haven't slept together since September. We have access and we can take a lie detector to calm your wife-to-be fears if you pass that.
These two walked into the courtroom today armed with what looks like a cooked-up story. After sneaking around and getting caught, they're still at it, sleeping with each other. Yet here they are, standing before Judge Lakes, lying through their teeth. Their body language is screaming a different truth, and Judge Lakes wastes no time pointing it out, even challenging them to take a lie detector test. But surprise, surprise, they're both suddenly not willing to take it.
I'm the girl without a father.
Well, then we gotta do something. Something's got to give. Mr. Chenald, I know you're probably not allowed to say, given the rules, but do you hope?
Ms. Holthouse doesn't want either man she was involved with to be the father of her child, yet she insists she doesn't want her child to grow up without one. On the other hand, Mr. Chenald is more concerned about restoring his relationship with Ms. Holthouse's mother than claiming the child. Given the tangled web of affairs, lies, and betrayals, that seems nearly impossible. Now, with the DNA results ready, the truth is about to come out.
Mr. Chenald, it has been determined by this court. You are not Miss Bogartis.
I do think that we all need counseling.
Get ready for another whirlwind case. This couple is no stranger to the courtroom, having already appeared in couples court, where it was revealed that Ms. Bodine had been cheating on Mr. Benning. Her actions have now cast doubt on the paternity of both of her children. While Mr. Benning remains hopeful they're his, they're back in court today to finally confirm the truth once and for all.
So close, she's goofy, you know, she loves daddy, she's a daddy's baby. We love to play, chase each other around. Goldfish is our snack, we love goldfish.
It's our snack.
Yeah,
I love how you
snack.
said that.
For someone who's always dreamed of having a daughter, watching that dream slip away can be heartbreaking, and that's exactly where Mr. Benning finds himself. He finally got the little girl he always wanted, but now, doubt threatens to rewrite history. Will the DNA results be in his favor? Stick around, this is about to get real.
I was sitting across from Kayla as she was pushing this baby out, and I received a text from a guy telling me to leave the hospital because that's his baby and he needs to be there.
What?
I am in labor.
What a crushing way to learn the baby you're expecting isn't yours. Getting that news while your partner is in labor, unable to even ask her about it, must have been unbearable. Left to absorb the shock alone, he had no choice but to sit with the heartbreak in silence. Truly devastating. Must have taken him a lot of courage to sign the birth certificate. Well, he wanted a daughter at all cost, so why not?
Yes, quite a few. First off, the DNA test doesn't mean anything considering the fact that she's cheated on me with more than one person.
Oh.
There could be other guys out there, that's just one, you know?
Now.
This case has clearly been dragging on. Ms. Bodine already ran a DNA test on another man she suspected, and the results showed he wasn't the father, a momentary relief for the courtroom. But the calm didn't last long, as Mr. Benning dropped a bombshell, claiming she hasn't just been with one other man, but multiple. That revelation has stirred the tension all over again.
People calling Mr. Benning saying the child isn't his.
I don't know. I cannot control what other people say. I know what I'm saying and I know what I prove. So you have your doubt or not. I'm here to prove today that you're the father.
Ms. Bodine believes her words alone can sway this case, but they won't. Mr. Benning's doubts aren't just personal. People have been calling him, insisting he's not the father of the children he's been raising. He's formed such a strong bond with his possible daughter that he even sees his late mother in her. Now, the doubt has spread, not just about his daughter's paternity, but his son's as well.
Bodine, when it comes to 23-month-old Robin Benning, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Benning, you...
Straight to the point, Judge Lake isn't wasting a second before revealing the paternity results, starting with Robin. The DNA results are in, and Mr. Benning is about to either break into a smile or face a harsh reality. He's built a strong, loving bond with these kids and really hopes they're his. So, is Robin his true daughter? Let us stick around to find out.
You admitted there was some doubt, Robin.
Yes.
Even though you felt in your heart Mr. Benning was the father. But
Sure.
for Jermaine Jr., you say you are certain.
Certain. There's no doubt in my mind or my heart.
With that devastating DNA result, Mr. Benning's hope of Robin being his daughter just melted away right before his eyes. And now, all his doubts about his son Jermaine Jr. seem to be lining up too. He's holding on to the hope that at least Jermaine Jr. is his. But Ms. Bodine, she's still over here, talking about the whole mess with zero remorse, acting like she's got everything under control.
Look at the room. I cannot break her heart like that. I can't, and I won't. I'm not the type of person.
Well, that one last statement. Just stop it. I won't break her heart like that.
With high hopes riding on the last result, both parents are hoping to spare the kids from heartbreak. After all, the kids have built a strong bond with Mr. Benning, and it'd be tough to tell them he's not their dad. Now, all eyes are on whether he's really Jermaine's father. That result could change everything. The results are in, and everyone's got their fingers crossed.
6-month-old Jermaine Benning Jr. It has been determined by this court. Mr. Benning, you are not the father.
Ms. Kavanaugh, you and your mother are appearing in court today to prove paternity of your 3-week-old son, Malcolm. Now, you claim his biological father is Mr. Bowles, even though you admit to being intimate with another man, Mr. McElliott.
Today, Mr. Bowles is in court denying he's the father of Ms. Kavanaugh's 3-month-old daughter. He's here to prove he can't possibly be the dad. Even after admitting she was intimate with another man, Mr. McElliott, during her window of conception, Ms. Kavanaugh, on the other hand, insists he is the father and is determined to prove it. What exactly led to this tangled situation? We'll find out shortly.
The first night, we had sex within like 20 minutes of being in her house.
It wasn't within 20 minutes.
Like probably 3 weeks later, maybe 2 weeks later, I found like an open condom wrapper in her bathroom.
Well,
She had already said that
just because
like, I was the only person she was having sex with.
It's always great to see mothers standing up for their daughters on this show, but too often it's heartbreaking when the daughters end up disappointing them once the paternity results come back. Deep down, most of these women know the truth. They just don't want to face it. In this case, after discovering Ms. Kavanaugh's secret escapades, Mr. Bowles has decided to step completely out of any mess related to her.
Found out that I was truly pregnant with my son is because I was very childish when I was talking to Mr. Bowles. Like, I really cared about him and I desperately wanted him to care about me because we were with each other basically every other night, if not every night. He was coming to my house.
Mr. Bowles must have captured her heart so much that Ms. Kavanaugh thought she could do anything to keep him all to herself. From having an affair with another man just to make him jealous, to manipulating pregnancy tests, she went to some extreme lengths. There's clearly no real love in this. Just a lot of drama. And yes, there's more truth yet to be revealed, so stay tuned.
O'clock in the morning and tells me he's going to go have sex with another woman.
What?
Yeah, so
You wake her up to tell her that?
First of all, we was just friends, so I
So
can
just
leave
because
and
I
go
was asleep,
wherever.
that justifies what you did?
I can.
These two clearly had a dramatic relationship. Claiming to love each other while hurting one another just doesn't add up. Having affairs with other people and doing it without protection is never right. From the pregnancy manipulation to outright disrespect, it's been a mess. Now, with a baby and a paternity dispute in the mix, hopefully all these questions will finally get some answers.
I got her number. I called her that evening and offered her for a movie. We hooked up and went out to eat or something like that. But ever since—
So you took her on dates and courted her and treated her like a lady should be treated?
Is she really sure he's the father, or is she just desperate to have him all to herself? That's the big question that could decide how this situation plays out. Mr. McElliott described their relationship as special, saying he treated her the way a woman should be treated. Now he's getting a call saying he has a baby with her, and she even gave him an ultrasound photo as proof. But seriously, why tell both men they're the father?
She said you agreed to sign the birth certificate.
I did. The stress was starting to get on me a little heavy, and I was certain that it was getting on her probably more.
Basing her decision about the paternity of her child solely on feelings is not the best approach. She may believe that either of these two men could be the father, or it's even possible that neither of them is, as she remains uncertain. Meanwhile, Mr. McElliott has treated her exceptionally well, supporting her and helping ease the burden of childbirth by agreeing to sign the birth certificate.
There was third party or something that was included in this?
Yes.
Okay. That's true, Your Honor.
Oh, no, it's true.
That's true, Your
A
Honor.
third party?
Yes, Your Honor.
Please elaborate on the third party.
It was a very drunken night, and
Oh no, there's another man in the mix? This just keeps getting messier. That must explain why she has been pointing accusing fingers at either of these men. It seems she may have been enjoying herself behind their backs, and now a child has emerged from that. Only the results can finally set things straight.
Well, I just heard my daughter take responsibility. I believe that he should apologize.
He hasn't just been, look, I haven't been there through the pregnancy, but Miss Kavanaugh, what your daughter learned was a very valuable lesson.
The plan she had in mind to balance out Mr. Bowles' affairs by seeing other men has now backfired. She must face the consequences of her actions, and it's a heavy burden to bear. It's encouraging that many women are following this show and that the narrative is evolving. Now, with the DNA results finally in, hopefully she gets the clarity and outcome she needs.
Pertaining to whether Mr. Bowles or Mr. McElliott is the father of 3-week-old Malcolm Kavanaugh. Mr. McElliott, you are not his father.